Hey, shalom, shalom, most high Christ bless. IUIC Dallas, cuts from the street. We in Deep Ellum. I got with me to my right,
Officer Micayah.
to my left.
Officer Jacob.
So we out here in Deep Ellum checking the minds of the people and seeing if the imagery of black and Hispanic people are positive or negative.
Hey, shalom, this is IUIC Dallas, cuts from the street scene. Who I got with me?
Crystalla.
How you doing, Christella?
I'm great.
All right, so it's like I spoke to you earlier. We're trying to see about the imagery that's shown in our black communities, right?
Mhm.
Is it a positive imagery or do we usually see negative imagery?
I think what's portrayed and what's made big is negative. However, I also do feel like if you're using social media and you're using it effectively, you can see some positive things. I do think the algorithms are kind of based off what you're liking, what you're like interested in. So if you're interested in a lot of dating topics, relationship podcasts, and a lot of things that can view us as against each other, black men and women, then that's probably what you're seeing more. However, if you're trying to look at more things that are reaching out to the communities and things like that, then you can also see that as well. So I think that's where we, as a black community, that's where we have some power. I know we don't like to think that, but I do think that's where we have our power. Whatever you're liking, I think that's what you'll see more of.
Right. I absolutely agree because it's really about how you use your platform, basically what you're saying. I absolutely agree. But what would you say about, like, as far as the media, not necessarily social media and what we can control, but the actual media? Yeah.
All right, this is Officer Jacob. We at IUIC Dallas, cuts from the street. Who do I have with me?
Alexis.
All right, we got Sister Alexis. So Alexis, before we was on camera, we was talking a little bit about black imagery, right? Some of the music, some of the things that, how it affects us. Tell us a little bit what you discussed before camera.
We were talking about how I don't really listen to a lot of secular music anymore because I feel like it really impacts the way that you act and kind of see the world.
And you said sometimes you can like speak things over your life, right?
Right, yeah, I was just talking about the power of the tongue, how life and death are formed in it. And so the music that we're listening to sometimes kind of is almost professing those things over yourself. And so you got to be mindful of what you're ingesting.
IUIC Dallas, cuts from the streets team. Who I got with me?
My name is Gary, but I go by Junior.
Okay. Yeah. That's the best. So, hey, it's like I was saying, basically, like we discussing about imagery, the imagery that's shown towards our people. Is it a positive image or is it a negative image?
It's really a negative image. It's like, it's really got to do with the spiritual war, and it's about God and the fallen sins. It's really like, it's close. It's like the Euphrates River in China right now is dried up, and the fallen sins is coming back. Where God locked him down there, and it's pumping with the kids, and that's why it's so much evil. That's why it's not gonna be nothing good in the hood. It's like we need Jesus.
Yeah.
Like we need Jesus, man. Like that's all we need, man.
You basically saying like the powers that be is like pumping negative imagery into our hoods, and it's affecting the youth. I absolutely agree with it.
That's why the government got the world like this. It's like a world food chain.
Right.
And like when they get to the top, when you keep trying to get to the top, everybody trying to knock each other down. When you get to the top, there's nothing really there but just loneliness. Yeah. And like when you get there, everybody want to be there and try to think you an ATM because you got it, and then everybody starts showing you fake love. Right. That's why it's not no real love out here. Yeah. That's why, like, I don't understand, because at my age, I'm 17 years old, and I'm still trying to find myself and trying to find who I am.
Right.
And I'm trying to, like, do my brothers the same way. My brothers just got locked up just a while ago over something that's unnecessary. Yeah. And it was a white racial cop, and he did it. So all I got to say is, man, like, I hope God come back and just save us all and forgive us and deny ourselves for Jesus, because he's the only one that we can depend on.
Shalom. Officer Asah, I'm here with
Bria Janae.
Bria Janae. So we're asking you, what do you think of black imagery or Hispanic imagery on TV? Is it positive or is it negative?
I think it's a mix of both. I think it depends on what you're tuned into.
So what do you mean tuned into?
Well, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I think that the algorithm goes to what you're specifically looking for, looking towards, looking at, what you're searching for. You know, it shows up on your phone. So I think it goes hand in hand. If you're looking for positive mental health, wellness things, you'll find those things. But if you're looking for big booty ghetto, it could be big booty. We all love big booties. But if you're looking for something that's not so positive, that'll show up. That'll show up too. That's what I think.
Okay, so you're saying by the algorithm, they'll show you what you're looking for, right? Right. Okay, so now how does the media or music or movies portray us as imagery? Now, we don't go away from the algorithm.
Okay.
So just by the news,
Uh-huh.
movies,
Mhm.
TV, how is a black woman, black man, Hispanic woman, and man portrayed?
Most of the time, poor, ghetto, no knowledge, uneducated.
Why do you think that?
I do think that sometimes I think that it's a natural thing that I don't want to say natural thing. What am I trying to say? I think that one, the media has this perspective of what black people should stay in, or that we're just one type of thing, and so that thing can be, exposed to a higher level, if that's what I'm trying to say, more than the educated black men and the facts that we have about us that are true, about us being knowledgeable, I don't know. I think that is portrayed in media that we are lower.
So it's safe to say that in the black community, we see a large portion of quote unquote negative imagery, and then that then affects the way we act and treat one another.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and that's why I asked you before. I said, "What's your thoughts about Sexy Red?" Right, or not even just Sexy Red. You got Glorilla, you got Cardi B, you got Megan Thee Stallion. So tell me your thoughts of people like that.
Right, like I said, I used to listen to that music, and then I really listened to the lyrics and realized what I was speaking over myself, and I didn't want that to become a part of my character. I realized those things were kind of impacting the way I interacted with men and were treating other people and treating myself. Okay. So I had to cut that out.
I don't know if it's bad, but I just feel like the media is gonna amplify anything that's negative, and that's black, white, whatever. I feel like they just amplify anything that's negative. So if that's what you're looking at, that's what you'll see.
Yeah.
And I think, and I do get it. Yeah. So if you're just saying, hey, media and news and stuff, I do think, yeah, you'll probably see more negative things. But like I said, that's what the news is kind of based off of, a lot of negativity, if you ask me.
Not facts.
Okay, so that is true. They do portray us as being lower, right?
Yeah.
And with that portrayal, is it true though? Are we no? But as a people, are we low at the bottom, or are we above?
We're at the top.
Wait, you said we're at the top?
I believe we're at the top.
So when you look at where the black and Hispanic people live at, where do we mostly live?
In poverty areas.
So is that the top?
No, not realistically, but we come from that.
Right. We come from the top, right? So that is true. But what I'm saying is how you see our people now, we are at the bottom. We're in the poverty. We call our neighborhoods what? The
Slums, the ghetto.
The ghetto, the hood.
Your hood, yeah.
Right? So we have these nicknames for this broke down society we live in. And then how is our family home structured? Is it positive or is it negative? Do we have father and mother? Majority. We're talking majority.
No.
You say what?
No, it's not father and mother. Most of the time, it's just your mom.
Just your mom.
Because people going to look at it more because it's a little bit more interesting. I feel that. What if we had to talk about like media when it comes to music?
Oh, media. You're asking the true music head. No. So with music, baby, y'all got to do your research. Do your research. It is so many positive musicians out here. You just got to get out of there. Even rappers. It is some positive rappers out there. I cannot think of any off the top of my head, and I'm so sorry, y'all. YouTube, whatever. I'm so sorry. But it is so many positive rappers, musicians out here putting music. I just want to, Erykah Badu's one of them. She has put people, she got Larry June up there, Rhapsody. She had people just yesterday here performing for you guys. So if you guys want to really get into some positive music, it's out there. Just, you can't go and look at just straight mainstream. You have to go do your research. I promise you, I am speaking as someone who loves music. It's out there.
Let me ask you, did you grow up with your father and mother?
My father was in my life, but my mom was a single mother.
So they wasn't together.
They were never together.
Right. So according to the Bible and the scriptures, it say that the so-called white man will do that, or the other nations will do that to us because we are in sin. Do you believe that we are in sin?
Yeah, I believe we're all born into sin, for sure.
Right. So, and in that imagery, we are supposed to be on top, but again, we went away from God's commandments and now we're at the bottom, and then our people want to be gangsters, want to be thugs, want to be thoughts. Like that's the image they push.
I don't want to say thoughts.
Why not?
Because that's like, I do believe in women being free and being able to express how they feel. And it doesn't have to be just because a thought is somebody, a hoe that's selling pussy. That's the truth. You could express how you feel without selling nothing, without giving out to nobody.
To your point, how you said you realized how the music you were listening to, some of the things you were injecting affected the way you treated people and the way you handle people. So I want to read this scripture to prove that out the Bible for our listeners. 1 Corinthians 15:33 about evil communication.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be ye not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
So to your point, evil communications, the things you listen to, the things you talk about, it starts to corrupt your manner. It starts to affect the way you actually treat people in the world. Okay, so look, final words from you. What would you say to people who are out there consuming that type of music or that type of, whether it be podcasts or TV, whatever they consume, and what would you say to try to kind of help change their mind frame towards that?
Right, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, you're planting a seed with what you listen to, so you want to be mindful about kind of guarding your ear gates, your eyes, of the things that you consume, because those things that you profess over yourself are kind of going to become a part of who you are if you allow them to continue to be consumed. So
Absolutely. What's up? Y'all hearing it here first. What you listen to, what you say is going to affect what you do. So you probably should change the things that we taking in as a people.
Can I use something that you said, though?
Yeah.
Like when you talk about the media, they kind of like show what's more negative. They're going to amplify what's negative. Is it safe to say that the more negative type of music is more pushed towards our community and listened to more?
I feel like it is, but it's not even just our community, it's the world, because they want us to look a certain way. So if you can make the black man or woman look a certain way, they want you out there. If you can make the black woman look like she's just like a hoe or whatever, they're going to put you more out there. You can make the black man look like he's more ignorant, they're going to put you more out there. You know, and I do believe in that. Is that if that's what the answer you want?
Yeah. Not necessarily like searching for an answer that I particularly wanted, but
in general, I do think if you put an image that they want us to have, they will put you more out there.
Right.
I do.
Like Sexy Red, Lil Uzi, Lil Durk.
It's nothing against them, but I just feel like if you're putting an image that they think will sell, that kind of makes us look bad, and it's no offense to them. But if they think it, because it doesn't, it's not us looking like upstanding citizens, us looking sophisticated, us looking like we have intelligence. They're not amplifying that. And then when we have musicians that are looking like they're sophisticated and intelligent, we notice that those musicians don't get, or those people don't get that much recognition.
Right.
So
like J. Cole.
Yeah, I can say that. I definitely can say that. I can see that.
Okay.
Definitely.
You mind if I just show you one scripture? Because we are Israel United in Christ, and pretty much everything that we do, we base it off the Bible. So we don't use a lot of our own words. A lot of our words are backed up by the Bible. Basically trying to show you, like, the nations. When I say the nations, I'm talking about the nations outside of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We kind of know that we're the same people. Like, we deal with the same stuff, right? But the nations outside of us, they know that if they keep us in sin, because they make a lot of money off of us. We're consumers. Especially when it comes to music, when it comes to clothes. They know that Sexy Red sell a line of lipstick called with gonorrhea, chlamydia, and you know, some other words that I don't feel like saying on camera. People gonna buy it.
Right.
Who gonna buy it? Our people gonna buy it.
Right.
White people ain't buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? So watch this. Read that.
Judah chapter 5 verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
So real quick, so now this is an example of a heathen nation. So it's an ambassador from a heathen nation talking to his governor, talking to his king, saying, hey, look, if they committing sin, we can go ahead and go overtake them. Understand that. Read.
Let us now consider that this shall be their ruin. Let us go on, and we shall overcome them.
Keep going.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
if we can't keep them to commit sin, if they start keeping the commandments, if they start obeying their maker, read.
Let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them and their God be for them.
God is going to be on our side and back us up. But if they know that we're easily falling into sin because we're consumers, and they're going to continue to dump all this negative imagery and dump all this nonsense into our communities via social media, via via television and via the media stream, the music stream.
But you saying that's how she feels, so if she feels she want to do that, then she gonna do it, right?
Right. I have a question. What's the difference between what people do in their bedroom versus like everybody does it? Like we can speak, but we can judge people. But like everybody has an opinion. Everybody's doing something behind closed doors that we don't know about.
Right, but Christ said, whatever done in the dark shall come into the light. So you will be exposed by the evil you do that's in private. Now,
Is that everybody?
that's
That's everybody.
everybody has some dark secrets. Now, but only the ones that don't have dark secrets are the ones that follow God's commandments. So if you, well, who follows God's commandments that you know of?
If you still follow God's commandments, you still gonna have some. So you got to get worked on your whole life.
You do, but
You're
that's
not perfect.
but that's part of, if you fear God, you're gonna say, you know what, I don't want to.
My best
Yes.
not to do those things, but we as human beings do come short. That's why we need Him always.
But again, but you have to want to follow His commandments in order to stay away from that, right?
That's true. That's
So, so can we get some scriptures?
true. Okay, yeah.
Okay, obviously, can we get some scriptures? Let's get Deuteronomy. We're gonna get Deuteronomy to touch that first point. You said that we are as a people above. We supposed to. So we get the first one, Deuteronomy 7:6, right? Deuteronomy. Oh Lord. Oh yes. Sir. So Deuteronomy 7:6 to show you, because she said we are above other people. We supposed to be, but we at the bottom. Check this out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See, so it's talking now. Let's read 1 and 1. So it said, God said to these people, you are holy, you are above everybody on the earth. Let's see who God is talking to.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto all Israel. So when you keep reading throughout Deuteronomy, it's speaking to the nation of Israel, right? So God said to the Israelites, or Israel, that they are the holy people of God, and they are above or below. Above, right? But now let's see the flip side, because you remember I said if we keep God's commandments, we're going to be above. So get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So that means to listen or to obey, right?
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if Israel keeps the commandments of God and do them, he said he'll set us where?
Above the commandments on earth.
No, read that part. Read that last part again.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
Oh, all nations of the earth.
Right. So what you said earlier was that, yeah, we are above, right? You spiritually, you think we're above, which is true, right? We're supposed to be above. So God said, Deuteronomy 28, if you keep my commandments, you will be above all nations, like he said in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, right? So let's see, but are we as black people and Hispanic people above all nations?
So, no. I
No.
don't want to say that. I say that, right? But this is the thing. I think that we all have individual purpose. And I think that in this, I believe that you can translate the Bible to a lot of different things for our own personal walk.
So we just read it said to Israel. So that's not us saying we making that up, right?
No, I know
That's you on First Peter's 1.
Private interpretation.
Yeah, it's First Peter's 1:20. So look, because we didn't put Israel in there and said Israel is going to be blessed. It said God said Israel is going to be
What I'm saying is
going to have Israel be blessed.
But what I'm saying is that I think regardless, I think God is pushing you towards your purpose, and I think that if you do the things, if you obey Him and what He wants you to do with your purpose, then I think that He will push you to higher levels, and you'll get those things. But as far as you being the perfect person, I don't believe in that. I believe that you will grow. You can grow to being those things, but everybody has a sole purpose here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We all going somewhere. We'll all ascend if we all obey, but That does not mean that we'll be perfect. God said make. So he's going to make you into that as you proceed with the steps in the process. You don't start off like that.
So, but that's why he's giving us these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So read this again, because we not making, this is not our own interpretation.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 20.
Okay.
Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
So that was a prophecy in Deuteronomy. So it's not a private interpretation. It means God is going to bless the nation of Israel if they keep the commandments. As a nation of people on the earth, who is keeping God's commandments that are blessed?
Well, I think that that's personal. We don't know.
How's it personal?
We don't know what God asks for each person to do. So you don't know if what that person is doing is something that God asked them to do.
So God is asking the children of Israel to keep the commandments, right? So let's go to Deuteronomy 28.
But what is the commandment?
We're going to tell you. We're going to show you. Deuteronomy 28 and get a curse.
Deuteronomy 28:15.
Yes, sir.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
You hear that? It said not listen to God.
To observe to do all his commandments.
So if you do not do all the commandments, Israel, what's going to happen?
And his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses
are good or bad?
Bad.
Bad. So all these bad things
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So these bad things are going to come upon the nation of Israel bad. And you said earlier that we at the bottom. We in the hood and the ghettos.
Not all of us.
The majority of us is in the bottom in this ghetto, right? So is that good or bad?
That's not good.
That's not good. So read the next verse. Watch.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Curse in the city and curse in the field. Curse picking cotton, sugar cane, and all that. Who did that?
We did.
We did. So those are bad things. You understand that? So I'm going to close out because we running short on time. So do you understand that those curses fit us, the blacks and Hispanics? It don't fit the so-called white man. So as a nation,
does it fit us by law? Because didn't this white man use the slaves? He used the Bible to talk to the slaves and try to switch it. And so that's why we did pick the cat. We did do those things.
We disobeyed God and he put us in that position to be enslaved. Then they took our records and misused they did a private interpretation.
That's a law.
They did a private.
The law. The law keeps us down. Not the Bible. The law.
All right,
That's
sis.
how I feel.
Okay, sis.
But I love Jesus.
She loves Jesus.
They pumping a lot of negative imagery into our communities, and it's affecting us negatively. You know what I mean? And it made God upset in how he deal with it. But then you say you hope that he save us. So I'm going to show you 2 scriptures real quick. Everything you saying is on point, man. You a smart young brother, unlike a lot of our people. And it's sad, but it's like you said, they pumping a negative image. And, you know what I mean?
They just trigger happy. Like,
yeah.
Everybody trying to get to my head. It's not good. Like, you should never try to kill somebody or have their blood on your hands or take somebody's life because, like, what if that was your family member?
Right. Hey, and I feel what you're saying. I'm going to show you everything you're saying out the Bible. So let's read that first.
Hosea chapter 3 verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image.
Hey, we the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We the children of Israel, and we abided many days without an image. We go into churches and we see a false image of Jesus Christ, false image of God, false image of the Jews, the real Jews, the false image of the angels, so on and so forth. And then that lacks, with that, us abiding many days without that image, that positive imagery, we lack social morals. Now watch, go to Hosea chapter 4, and you can start at verse 1.
Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So look, it's kind of like a domino effect now that we don't have that imagery. They say now God got a controversy with us. Read.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
That's exactly what you were saying. Like now we killing each other, you know what I'm saying, with all the imagery, all the negative imagery that you say that they pumping, the powers that be is just pumping and dumping into our community. Now we ain't got no mercy towards each other. We deal with each other wrong. We killing each other because we get upset. Read.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood toucheth blood.
Now the Most High got a problem with that. But like you said, he gonna save us. But the only way he gonna save us is we gotta turn from that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, that negative imagery not helping, but we gotta turn back to the true imagery. This is our photo out.
We back. We had some interviews. They went well, but our people are still destroyed. So, Officer Jacob, what you think, sir?
Man, we've seen some interesting things. Some of our people understood and agreed that the imagery that we have in our community is detrimental. The way that we listen to music, the things that we see, it affects the way we act. But then we had some of our people full-blown Christian mode on us. So, you know, it is what it is, man.
All praise, Officer Micayah.
Yeah, I had to agree. We had a couple good interviews, but you kept seeing our people try to revert back to, oh, well, you know, it's how you look at it, it's how you look at it. Christianity started creeping back up in the forefront of that cerebral cortex or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying? And our people started, you know, having these weird imaginations, and it was being manifested with what they was talking about. But overall, we got some good interviews.
All praise. Where you have it, Cuts from Street, Dallas.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example.